a beautiful day to talk about some nerdy things. Welcome to episode number 1 of the Marvelus Podcast. I'm Kyle, the artist known as Azora Hype on YouTube, and this is Simon from Blaze Manga. And today we're here to talk about a few things going on in the Marvel Cinematic Universe and with other things that we love to talk about. Of course, Marvelus is not just Marvel, but today we're going to be focused on Marvel. Simon, what are we going to start off with today to talk about?
Actually, today we should start with Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel news we got. We got a few new stories to talk about, so let's start with that one.
Especially the pictures that we saw, we have to talk about the Super Skrulls. I think that was the biggest reveal out of all the pictures that we saw, right? Because we knew that we're going to see a young Nick Fury. We knew that that's going to happen. We know that we're going to see Carol Danvers interact with Marvel. That's going to happen. But the Super Skrulls, this is a big deal because there's a big storyline that comes with that.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about that, Simon?
Yeah, let's talk about a little bit about that. First, do you like how they look? Because I remember real quick. I remember seeing the concept art. They look super comic book accurate. They look really good, and I thought they were gonna go full CGI with them. But then we saw that picture in the entertainment weekly article, and
we're big fans of anime. They kind of look like Piccolo from DBZ.
But the movie,
so
I'm like,
I did see some criticism out there. I mean, it is one picture. We don't. I mean, there's going to be VFX added throughout the. Marvel is huge.
Yeah.
We were actually just watching a video about Avengers without the VFX.
Yeah, so good.
And it looked really good, but. I actually think they're going to look awesome. I mean, Marvel, as far as CGI goes, they're the top of the top, right? I mean, when you're going to see a movie, it's a spectacle when you know you're going to see a Marvel movie. But implication-wise, Super Skrulls, you actually think one of the original Avengers is a Skrull.
Yeah, because in the comic books, there's this storyline called Secret Invasion.
Yeah.
And a bunch of characters from a bunch of the heroes turn out to be Skrulls. So in the cinematic universe, we might end up having one of the original Avengers.
I heard a stupid thing like Iron Man already. Like someone's throwing out some clickbait out there, and I was like, oh, that hurts my heart.
I remember. No, I heard like maybe Hulk is one Skrull right now. That's why he can't transform. But I don't buy that. I feel like somebody that will hit us real hard will be either Hawkeye or Black Widow.
Black Widow. Well, I mean, a lot of people are saying, well, Hawkeye wasn't in Avengers: Infinity War, so that's kind of a thing. But you know, there's a lot of speculation on the Ronin plotline, and if I actually think we could see a cold open with Hawkeye's family biting the dust with the snap
in Avengers 4, yeah,
right. And I mean, if spoiler alert, if you have seen the end credits to the Ant-Man movie. We see the ant drumming, and there's no one else there. That means that Ant-Man's family is gone, which is a huge deal. And Scott is trapped in the subatomic universe.
Although they did in casting news, they did cast Cassie. What's her name? Cassie.
Yeah.
But the adult version of her.
Oh, yeah, there is going to be some time travel elements. And by the way, Captain Marvel, for those of you who don't know, is actually going to be set in the 90s. So that is something that's going to be really interesting. We know we're going to be getting young Nick Fury, which is something that I'm really looking forward to see what happened in that moment, how he got injured and why he's wearing the eye patch. That's something that's really important that I think we need to know. We're several movies into the Marvel Cinematic Universe now. That's something that we kind of need to find out, especially if he's only going to be around for a couple more movies.
Yeah. Also, we're going to see the origins of Agent Coulson.
Oh, damn. I'm a huge fan of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so we know that we're getting a 6th season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., by the way. Really excited about that for the
do we know for sure he's not a Skrull?
Yeah. Coulson is not a Skrull. Yeah, I'm like 100% positive on that. But there's some awesome theories out there. It seems like people are kind of on the Hawkeye train as a Skrull.
Yeah. Especially because of the news. Let me tell you about the news. Apparently, Jeremy Renner was filming new scenes as his Ronin persona, but he was filming scenes with Yakuza type characters, and they were wearing prosthetics. So he could be fighting Skrulls, and it will be a plot twist, like they reveal like he was actually.
Yeah, but he has a family though.
Wouldn't that be a motivation for a Skrull to stay hidden as a hero?
So like really deep in secrecy, like they are going to try to really infiltrate the Marvel universe, and they are very dangerous people. These are villains that we should be like concerned about. They have making a big impact.
Invasion of the Body Snatchers, well, in the Marvel Cinematic
yeah,
Universe.
but much cooler, obviously. So as far as Captain Marvel goes, Simon, what is the thing that you're looking most forward to for Captain Marvel?
Getting to know her personality, because I feel like if
this isn't an origin story, by the way.
It's not an origin story. She's already Captain Marvel, which I appreciate that. I want to see what she's doing with her squad. I forgot the name of the squad, but the Cosmic something. They're there. They're gonna be being mediators or being part of the conflict between the Kree and the Skrull, which is gonna be interesting. That guy from Guardians of the Galaxy is gonna be back.
Obsidian Call?
No, Ron.
Sorry, why did I say Obsidian Call? That's
a
whole nother thing. Sorry, I just want to throw some more tinfoil out there.
We should talk about that.
Yeah.
And second, but no, the Ronan. No, Ronan is a Hawkeye. What's the name of the villain from Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy? Ronan the Accuser.
Oh,
he's gonna be there.
That's gonna be pretty badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know there was actually we're going to talk a little bit about Avengers 4 after about how maybe Thanos brings back some of the major villains with the Soul Stone and whatnot. There's a few theories that are out there about that are worth talking about. Actually, we're going to talk about some theories after about that. But Captain Marvel wise, I'm really excited to see kind of the beginnings of Nick Fury and what's happening with him because he's been an integral part. And one thing that we do know is he contacted Captain Marvel when he knew what to do when the snap happened in the after credit scene. So
was he expecting it?
Was he expecting it? Did he got contacted by Doctor Strange, maybe?
Maybe.
So there's a few things that definitely have to go down. But Captain Marvel, it comes out March 8th of next year, 2019. Really, really excited for it. And I actually think, with all the contracts that are going up, Captain Marvel, Black Panther, Spiderman, we're going to see kind of a new Avengers ushered in with the next phase of all the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So Simon, what do we want to talk about next?
You want to keep talking about Captain Marvel, or do you want to move
Yeah, there's some interesting things in the article that I think we need to talk about. And it's really interesting, too, like, where the hell is she? Right?
Right now, it looks like she's going to be in space for most of the movie, but we don't know.
Yeah, but Thanos' snap affects most of the
where is she right now in present time? Yeah.
So here's an interesting theory. Is she in the subatomic universe? Because Ant-Man survived the snap. Does someone warn her that she had to hide out for a certain amount of time somewhere until things... Because if the Doctor Strange theory is true, where he sends the time stone through time and he knows kind of what's going on, other people will know of what's going to be happening. So
to make sure she survives the snap, she will be
because essentially we both agree that Captain Marvel is probably going to be the one that's going to be wearing the Infinity Gauntlet. And far as cosmic power goes, people are saying that she's going to be Thanos' equal.
Yeah.
So, if Tony wears the gauntlet, he's probably going to die.
Yeah.
Or
anyone, to be honest.
Maybe Thor could wear. I just don't see him wearing the gauntlet though, right? Right. So out of the people who could wear the gauntlet, Adam. We don't have Adam Warlock yet. He's not going to be in Avengers 4.
No.
So she can kind of fill that Adam Warlock role.
She's probably going to be honest, and she, based on what Kevin Feige says, she's the most powerful character in the MCU.
And a lot of people were complaining about that. There was a lot of backlash about that because she's a woman, I think.
Yeah, but
we're not gonna get into that too much. But I think that I'm actually really excited. And Brie Larson is a terrific actress. I think if we talk about why part of the reason why Marvel is so successful is they nail their castings, people. You can argue whether there might be better choices out there, but look at Tony Stark. I can't.
He was perfect.
Yeah, and Steve. We obviously got Chris Evans as Captain America after he played the Human Torch, but I actually think that Brie Larson is going to nail this role, and I think this movie is going to have a similar impact that Captain America did because it's going to be a female-driven Marvel Cinematic Universe movie. Not to the level of Black Panther, but it's going to have a similar impact because it is woman-driven. The main character is a woman.
And I think people will like her. I hope so. She has a really strong personality in the comics, and it appears that they're going to respect that and translate that into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So I want to see how people react to her, but if somebody knows how to make a character of that nature likable, it's Marvel. They do that all the time.
But we're both really excited about Captain Marvel, and we actually think that she's going to be really badass. Next thing we actually wanted to talk about, Simon, and we're going to add this to the podcast today, but this was my idea, was Spider-Man Far From Home.
Okay, let's talk about Spider-Man.
Let's talk about Spider-Man, and spoiler alert, if you saw the after credits scene, Michael Keaton, who played Vulture, was meeting with a certain someone in prison, and it's believed that character is going to be playing Scorpion.
Yeah.
Now, that's not the most important news, is that Jake Gyllenhaal is confirmed to be cast as Mysterio, which would make up 3 of the Sinister Six, Simon. Is this the arc that they're going to be taking with this specific Spider-Man? Because normally we get the Green Goblin, and we haven't had any inclinations of a Norman Osborn around, or Harry and all that, so is it going to be more than a 3-movie arc for the Spider-Man series? I think it actually might be, and they're going to set up the Sinister Six first, and then they're going to set up the Norman Osborn Green Goblin stuff later.
Yeah, probably. What if Norman Osborn is one of the Sinister Six? Because
that's what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Like in the second one, they're going to establish the other 5 people, the other 5 members.
And then he completes it. Yeah. And I actually think that's where they're going to be going with this storyline.
Oh, okay. That's a good idea. Yeah. Have you seen that video with Tom Holland when somebody pumped water into his stunt double? He's in Venice. And people think, because this place is full of water, that's where Hydro Man is going to come from.
Oh, damn. Yeah, no, I really think that they're going to do that with the Sinister Six plotline. I think Norman Osborn is going to be completing it. I did watch some videos on the Spider-Man game, which we're not going to talk about. We haven't got to play it that much yet, but there are Sinister Six vibes in that game if you got to watch some of the E3 stuff. And that's kind of what's leading me to think that if they are going to go this route, they are going to do the Norman Osborn. I mean, it was teased that in the video game, spoiler, that Norman Osborn is there at some point, the Green Goblin in the video game. I haven't played it personally. We actually have the game here. We've been super busy working.
Yeah.
We'll get to play it. And of course, let us know in the comment section if you think that the Sinister Six is going to be kind of where they're going with Spider-Man, especially in Spider-Man Far From Home, if they're setting that up over the next couple of movies.
Especially if we're going to get more than a trilogy. So far, we just got 1 movie, we're working on the second one, and some appearances in the other movies. So if we're gonna do a trilogy with Tom Holland, we need the Sinister Six.
And the one thing too is that we've seen Iron Man and Spider-Man movies. We're gonna see, I think, in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, we see other characters in other movies. So it's not necessarily just a Spider-Man movie. Like, let's say Black Panther comes in the next Spider-Man movie after Far From Home. There's Kraven. It can be a Black Panther and Spider-Man movie. So they can kind of set things up that way, right? Where it's not just a Spider-Man movie where, we're only getting 3 Spider-Man movies. No, we're actually getting 5 or 6 because he's appearing in different storylines.
Yeah.
Right?
And speaking of Kraven, the Black Panther director, he wanted to have Kraven in the movie originally.
Yeah.
Before Killmonger, so that's pretty cool. So if they didn't allow him to use him, it's because they have plans for him.
And Killmonger definitely did have some Kraven vibes.
Oh, yeah. But can we talk about Killmonger? He was such a good
villain. Oh, man, he was so good. I loved Black Panther. I've seen Black Panther like 6 or 7 times
I hope he gets nominated for an Oscar.
Well, they're doing a movement right now. They're trying to really push it to make sure they can get some nominations, and rightfully so, man. Yeah. Wow, that was especially all the cultural things that we saw within Black Panther, just like the herb and the music,
the tattoos,
the
way they were dancing,
how beautiful Wakanda was.
Oh yeah.
That part of the movie they nailed like a 10 out of 10.
Even though it's fake, it's inspiring real African culture, so that's what makes it feel real to me, and it's so good, man.
And like I said, I think obviously with the contracts are up for Robert Downey, Chris Hemsworth, Chris Evans, they're going to be setting up the new Avengers, which is going to be Black Panther, Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Spider-Man, and that's going to be kind of the new wave. And then obviously with the acquisition of Fox, we got X-Men and Deadpool and all that coming into the fray. So I'm not a huge fan of the most recent X-Men movie. I was a really big fan of First Class. I thought that was
First Class was pretty good. So speaking of the X-Men, do you think that we're gonna get a post-credit scene maybe in Avengers 4 with Magneto or Xavier?
Maybe teasing some new castings. I don't think they're that far advanced into the process yet. Obviously, they have like the next 5 movies planned out in the Marvel. Next 5 years of movies planned out in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? So I don't think we're getting. They're super early in the. They're probably just doing storyboards and stuff like that. They're probably still writing scripts and stuff like that. Obviously they're working on what kind of stories they want to create with it from the comics. Kevin Feige's probably pulling from the comics and saying, hey, this is the kind of stuff we want to focus on. But I don't think they're super far in the process. But I mean, they've been waiting to acquire it. So I could be wrong, and they could be like pushing stuff through because they've been waiting to get X-Men and all these characters back. Fantastic Four as well.
I was gonna tell you, maybe Fantastic Four as well. Remember when they were doing Civil War, they had a script with Spider-Man and a script without Spider-Man. So they probably already have something going on just to go on the acquisition and boom.
And by the way, we're still really excited about Venom. We're going to be covering all that stuff on the channel.
Oh yeah,
like that is something that we're super interested in.
If the movie is successful, then probably gonna kill.
And we'll be doing a movie review for Venom and whatnot. Simon, does that pretty much cover the Spider-Man stuff we're going to talk about? We have, I think, one more thing that we really want to talk about in the podcast, and it's Avengers 4 theories. They're all over the place. There's so many of them.
So this should be its own section, like the Avengers 4 theory of the week.
Yeah, theory of the week. I mean, we've been watching a lot of Time Stone theories. This isn't my creation or my theory, but I certainly think that that's a plausible one. Doctor Strange solved outcomes, obviously, and he made specific decisions for a specific reason. So, and we don't know quite what they are yet.
No. There's so many possibilities because he saw the future, right? Like he knows what's gonna happen. So everything that happened is for a reason. Even the whole Quill punching Thanos in the face, he knew that was gonna happen, and they needed that to happen. So why do you think he allowed all that to happen?
So there is a rumor up there, spoiler alert, that only 2 of the original 6 Avengers are gonna survive. I don't know if I buy that.
I don't know either.
I don't think so. I think that maybe 2 of them die.
I feel like maybe more.
I think Captain America is 100% gonna die. Tony is a maybe for me. A lot of people seem to think that Tony's going to die. And Tony's always been willing to sacrifice himself, but that wedding, I don't know. Are they willing to kill off their biggest cash cow?
Maybe because he's so expensive. You know what I mean?
I mean, with the Illuminati and all that, all those storylines.
Like, go and do Illuminati.
And I think they could kill off Nick Fury, and they can keep Tony around, and he can make some cameos in other movies, just like smaller ones. But certainly, he has played Iron Man in quite a few movies, and he could be killed off. The one thing I think that we really got to pay attention to is that vision where everyone is laying dead. And
that's in Avengers.
Right, where he sees everyone dead, and obviously he sacrificed. He goes into outer space and he delivers the nuclear bomb into the Chitauri army, all their spaceships and whatnot. But is that foreshadowing? Because those are the original Avengers that died there. Those aren't the people that disappeared from the snap. We saw Bucky and Groot and all of those people disappear from the snap.
Other side characters.
So are we going to see the other side of things where they come back and they have to sacrifice themselves for all these people to be brought back?
Should we be worried about all of them, including Rocket and Nebula?
Well, no, I don't. We don't know what's going on. Guardians 3 is kind of in disarray right now with all the James Gunn stuff that went down. No, I don't think they can. I think they got to save them all for another movie. But certainly, there could be some of the deaths from the snap that are permanent. I think Gamora is one of them. And I think that
one is just questionable, though. Because if she went into the Soul Stone, like people think she did, she can be brought back. Yeah,
she could be brought back. Now, one theory that I really like and I've thought about, and immediately after I watched Avengers Infinity War, I'm like, what if they go back in time and Tony and Steve, because there's obviously the mold for making another Infinity Gauntlet. If they go back in time to all the previous points before Thanos got the stones, what if Captain America was the sacrifice for the Soul Stone? And what I'm thinking is Tony's been willing to sacrifice himself for the good of the people, for the realm, as we like to say in Game of Thrones. Would he be willing to sacrifice Steve Rogers? I don't think he would.
Tony will not do that.
And there's always this talk about not trading lives, right? And there's that's been kind of woven through. Nick Fury's talked about it, Steve has talked about it, and many other people have discussed it. What if in that moment Tony's not willing to sacrifice Steve Rogers? That's the only thing. That's the only sacrifice he's not willing to make. That would mean that he has true love as a friend for Steve Rogers.
They do love each other, like all of them, but especially Steve and Cap. They have this special relationship. They have strong personalities, and they don't always agree, but they at the end of the day they care for each other.
I think so too.
It's complicated, but it's
and it's said that they have a lot of scenes together in Avengers 4, so I think that's something that we have to look forward to. If they are setting that up, one of them dying and one of them living with the notion that the one of them died for that sacrifice for the greater good. And I think they're both willing to sacrifice themselves, obviously.
If one of them dies,
or both.
Both. It has to be in the last act of the movie, in my opinion. Because I'm gonna feel robbed if we don't get the final battle with most of the Avengers versus Thanos. We need to have Steve Rogers around.
Now, how long is this movie going to be? There's rumors that this movie can be 2 hours and 45 minutes to 3 hours.
This last movie was really long.
It was 2 hours and 36 minutes, right?
The only thing that might work against that is the IMAX running time.
Yeah, they always try to maximize the amount of times that they can run the movie so they can make the maximum amount of profit. But for this movie, they need to do it right, okay? They need to do it right. I mean, look at what happened with Lord of the Rings. Those movies were incredibly successful.
And they have the extended editions. And
exactly, right. I mean, they can show those in theaters again and they would crush it.
Yeah.
So those are kind of, I mean, what's one theory that you kind of heard, Simon, that has really piqued your interest for Avengers 4?
Oh, man, there's so many theories. Let me see.
I really like the one that they're going to go through the subatomic universe and they're going to time travel to another alternate universe. And, Captain America can wield Mjolnir. Oh, that would be a good one, right? Because there was foreshadowing that he lifted it.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good theory. I like it.
Are they going to go back to the Battle of New York is the question.
I feel like they are, but I don't know why. What I hear is they might go back to the Battle of New York to tell Loki about what's going to happen to him.
Yeah, but wouldn't he go to report to Thanos though? I mean, Loki is still. I mean, he matured. He matured as the movies went through. He obviously had more of an appreciation for the people that cared about him, even though he didn't care about them as much. Certainly. And then Thanos learns about it. It's like a kind of a race against time or something. Like Thanos is racing to get the stones. They are too.
Yeah.
And then someone like Tony or Captain Marvel. I mean, Captain Marvel's probably. I mean, cosmically, power-wise, if she is going to be as powerful as they say she is.
Yeah, I want to know how she's going to come into play. I want to see Captain Marvel meeting Tony and meeting all the characters and how they're going to react.
Because she's probably going to be the new leader, right?
If for that to happen, then Tony or Steve need to die.
Well, Tony can step back and become like leader, like Nick Fury's position or something like that. He could be the leader of S.H.I.E.L.D.
So if they kill Cap,
Captain America's not surviving the movie.
I don't want that, but if they do that, and then we have the new Captain Marvel, could we potentially see Civil War Part 2 in the future?
Ooh, that'd be really interesting. They certainly could do that with Secret Invasion if they did it right. I mean, if the Skrulls are we don't with certain characters aren't who we think they are, that they could create these conflicts because they aren't the real people.
Yeah,
right.
True.
So that is something that could happen.
And then we'll have the X-Men involved now.
Yeah.
In Civil War, so it's gonna get crazy.
And obviously in the comics, there's all sorts of inner conflict between superheroes. I mean, the superheroes have egos; they are not perfect.
Yeah.
But it's really exciting that Marvel now has access to the X-Men and Fantastic Four and all these different projects.
And I hope Deadpool makes a cameo. That would be great to see Deadpool in
Avengers 4. He's like, hi, and he's like, I don't want to be part of the Avengers, or like Logan, like giving the middle finger or something like that, like Hugh Jackman just like making a cameo or something.
But
like that.
for something like Civil War Part 2 or a future movie, I want to see Deadpool interacting with the characters as well. It'll be great. It'll be great.
Yeah, I think so too. But I think this is going to pretty much wrap it up for us today. Obviously, this is our very first podcast. We just launched channel Marvelous last week. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, what are you doing? Hulk smash that like button. Of course, all of our Marvel social media will be in the description of this video, the Twitter, the Facebook, all that. You can come check us out, chat with us, tell us what you would like us to cover on the channel. There's so much going on. There's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
We're going to have other people on the channel, other amazing content creators as well. It's not just going to be me and Simon. Marvelous is a collective of content creators that will be creating content for the channel.
Mm-hmm.
But next, there's a few things we want to talk about. We got, obviously, a video that I'm going to be dropping. Kyle from Marvelous here. I'm going to be dropping a Doctor Strange video in Avengers 4 and kind of talking about some of the stuff we touched on in the podcast today. But Simon, what do we want to say to all of our people out there, all the Marvelous? Do we want to invite them to be Marvelous?
Please be Marvelous with us, because we want you to be part of this awesome community and talk to us about Marvel. Put all your comments in the comment section all your questions, all your theories. You want to hear them?
Yeah.
All of them.
I mean, there's 3 big movies next year. There's Captain Marvel on March 8th, and then there's Infinity War the 3rd of May. But I mean, that can change. They'll probably move it up or something to maximize on.
And then we have Spiderman.
Spider-Man, which is coming out on my birthday
Happy
next
birthday,
year,
Carlos.
July
Yeah.
5th of next year. I'm getting old. But yeah, let us know in the comment section what you would like to cover. Of course, you can follow us on the social media. If you do want to support the channel, we do have a Patreon set up, and we're going to have all sorts of awesome awards. There's going to be drawings from Blaze Manga and prints. There's going to be all sorts of awesome polls that you can participate in and basically tell us and gear us towards what kind of content you would like us to make. But that's going to be it for today. Hulk, smash that like button, subscribe, and we invite you to be marvelous. Peace out, everyone.